At the dawn of the 19th century, America stood at a turning point. The revolution was over, the Constitution was in place, and the young nation was ready to define its identity. What came next would transform America forever: the Industrial Revolution. Imagine a country where farms stretched to the horizon, where life was slow, and where every tool was made by hand. But deep in the heart of the simplicity, a storm of innovation was brewing. It began with steam. In the early 1800s, steam engines powered textile mills in New England, churning out cloth faster than ever before. Canals carved new pathways through the land, and rivers carried goods from city to city. The invention of the cotton gin by Eli Whitney ignited the South's cotton boom, linking agriculture to industry in a powerful, unstoppable cycle. America's economy began to hum with the sound of machinery and ambition. Towns turned into cities. Workers left their farms and flooded into factories. The smoke of progress filled the skies, and with it, a new America was born. The 1830s saw the birth of the railroad. The steel veins that connected the east to the west trains roared across the land, carrying iron, coal, and people, millions of people toward the promise of opportunity. The telegraph followed, shrinking distance into moments. A message that once took days could now travel in seconds. The world felt smaller, faster, connected. By mid-century, the Industrial Revolution had completely reshaped American life. The old rhythms of the farm gave way to the mechanical pulse of the machine. Immigrants poured in from Europe, Irish, Italians, Germans, each chasing the American dream, each adding their strength to the growing cities of New York, Boston, and Chicago. But this dream had its shadows. The rise of factories meant the rise of inequality. Men, women, and even children worked long hours for little pay. The sweat of labor built the fortune of a few, while the rest struggled to survive. Yet through hardship, hope endured. Innovation became America's heartbeat. Inventions like the telegraph by Samuel Morse, the sewing machine by Elias Howe, and the typewriter by Christopher Sholes transformed everyday life. And in 1879, when Thomas Edison lit the first electric bulb, night was no longer a barrier to progress. It was simply another frontier. With light came productivity, with machines came mobility, and with mobility came power. The age of industry gave rise to titans: Andrew Carnegie in steel, John D. Rockefeller in oil, Cornelius Vanderbilt in railroads. These were the men who built empires, shaping not just America's economy, but its destiny. The cities grew taller. The Brooklyn Bridge, completed in 1883, stood as a symbol of human triumph. A web of steel connecting not just Manhattan and Brooklyn, but the past and the future. As the century drew to a close, America stood transformed. The once quiet colonies had become a roaring industrial giant. The nation's identity, once fragile and uncertain, was now bold, ambitious, unstoppable. The Industrial Revolution didn't just change how Americans worked, it changed how they thought, how they lived, and how they dreamed. It built the foundation for the 20th century, when America would rise from an industrial power to a global leader, from steam to steel, from hand tools to machines, from local dreams to global ambitions. The story of America's Industrial Revolution is the story of transformation itself. It was not merely the rise of industry, it was the rise of a nation finding its strength, its purpose, and its unshakable will to lead the world.